Don't know if this is working. We will find out. We need to go to the YouTube the tubes. Figure out if it's working or not. It's legit working. Alright. Well. Yeah. Everything in the green range. Second. Hey guys, we are going live. We're gonna start crocheting here in a second. I got coffee, you guys. Oh. And this is showing. Which we don't want. Anybody like my shirt? It's my everywhere life shirt. It's like my favorite shirt. I got this shirt. Probably back in 2015, probably. I've had this shirt for a really long time. I don't want that. I'm adjusting, you guys. I'm adjusting. Drinking coffee. We're gonna be crocheting here in a second. I just love this Abbey Road Live shirt. I got this at a concert. Really good. Really, really cool. Hi, we're about to be crocheting. You like my shirt? This is my Abbey Road Live shirt. It is from the band Abbey Road Live, which is a Beatles tribute band. I think I got this shirt back in 2015, I think. And the reason why they named the band Abbey Road Live was because they wanted to be a tribute to the Beatles, and they initially only did the songs from the Abbey Road Live concert, later expanding to singing all of the Beatles songs. So this is a Beatles reference, but it's from a tribute band called Abbey Road Live, because initially they only sung songs off that album, and now they do songs off all the albums. And I got this at the concert back in 2015, I believe. Oh, cool! You're knitting a jumper. That's cool. I'm actually gonna watch this on my phone, so I can see, so I can read your guys' comments. Sorry, my brain's not working properly. Cool. It is. It's really a cool band. It was funny to me though that initially they only did music from the Abbey Road Live album. I personally thought that was, I don't know, I just thought it was interesting. But they said that didn't last long, that they thought it was kind of, I don't know, ridiculous, so they just ended up deciding that they were just gonna play all the music off of all their albums, which I agree. I love the Beatles. So I'm gonna be using my phone to read y'all's comments. So yeah, because I don't have my mic today. I'm using the mic on my computer because that's all I got. Because my mic died. So charging the mic, guys. Charging the mic. This is the project that I am working on. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok, Fibers in the Wind. I go live there too. We are working on this current project. For a while ago, yes. I finished that. I made a pattern for the ribbed helix dish scrubby. You can purchase the pattern on my Ravelry. So that's cool. Also, I am working up a new pattern. This is my brand new pattern. It's not complete. but it's mostly done. I have to do an edge that goes around this strap, and then down here I did it on this side. This is a brand new pattern. This is my Meridian Mesh Market Tote. That's what it looks like. This is what the bottom looks like. This is a size small, and it is a singular strap bag. There is going to be 3 sizes. This is a small. There's going to be a small, medium, and large. The other thing that I showed you is going to be a medium of this pattern. And it is going to come in the 3 sizes, the small, medium, large, as well as a single strap version like you see here, and a double strap version. And the pattern is also going to be including a basket version as well. I am edging it in pink because I did this side already. You can't really tell. That's the edge. I've already edged one side. It's just one round of single crochet. I just haven't edged this side. So this is the small single strap version of the bag, and it's a complete circle in the middle and then turns into a square. So this is the small. I'm making a medium in the double strap version, so the one pattern will include the 3 sizes, the single strap version. It'll have instructions to make it single strapped. It'll also have instructions to add 2 straps on either side and ways to make it into a basket instead of a bag. So you'll have the basket version, the single strap version, the double strap version, as well as the 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. So that's I love this cotton by Hobby Lobby, which is a really high quality, softer, drapier cotton if you're looking for that type of a thing. This is acrylic. This is what I have, which is why I'm using this color, because I'm trying. Not my favorite color in the world, but it's what I have. Also, can you guys hear the music? Let me know what you guys can hear and what you guys can't. Also, I don't know why, but I was craving a veggie platter earlier, so I went to my work because I work at Grocery Outlet. I just started there, and I got some things to make my own veggie platter because even when you buy them, they don't always have the veggies you want. They're not always the freshest, and they're expensive. So I got 1 red bell pepper, 1 cucumber, a large head of broccoli, baby carrots, and tomatoes. Like the little tomatoes. The multi-pack. The tomatoes that have like the red, the yellow, the orange, the variety. I just want to know, is the music too loud or is it perfect? And can you hear me good? That's what I need to know. I just want to make sure that you can hear me and the music perfectly. That's kind of what I just would like to know. Because then I can know if I need to make it. Because I can make adjustments if anything needs to be adjusted. That's the whole purpose of asking. So right now on the bag, I'm doing basically just kind of a foundation, a couple of foundation rounds to set up for the pattern repeat that we're going to be doing. So I've made, this is the back side, so I've made the piece, the base, the size that I want. This is going to be the size medium. And then I'll be doing a size large as well. I believe this is going to be a size medium. I could possibly make the size medium a little bit bigger, but this is what the size medium is looking like, and you can kind of barely see how it's forming the walls of the bag. It's only the first round of walls, so you can't really tell yet. It still wants to, it'll still lay flat if you push it flat, but Good. I just want to make sure that I'm loud enough so that you guys can hear me, but you guys can hear the music as well too. Perfect. You guys can always just let me know in the comments if I need to adjust anything. I'm actually using a recording software. I'm not just going directly through YouTube. So yeah, that's what we're working on. I'm using a 5mm hook. These hooks are really nice. This one's relatively newer because the original one that I had I lost. I'm sure I have it somewhere, but hell if I know where it is. So this is the newest hook I own. It's just replacing the original one that I've had for 8 years or whatever, because I've been wanting to use this size. And I have this size hook in other brands. I just don't use any other brands but this primarily. I mean, I've had this set of crochet hooks for 8 years now, and there's a little wear and tear on them after 8 years, but nothing terrible. Like, I think the quality is still really good. I definitely will say the hook inside this does move a tiny bit if you artificially move it, but you don't really notice it. Oh, that's cool. If you want to message me, you can message me a picture. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I absolutely love these Clover Amore crochet hooks. Like I said, I've had the entire set for 8 years, and I love it. I'm actually missing my 4.5. It's probably in a bag of stuff in my storage. So that is kind of how that's going. But yeah, I love this because the hands that I crochet with doesn't really cramp up when I use these, and I'm able to crochet more efficiently with these. And I started using them because all the professionals that I saw going live, like the people who have crochet businesses and stuff, were like, these are the best, you need to get them. And I didn't get them initially because I didn't know they were $80 when I got them, and I didn't know if the price was worth it. And so I wasn't really sure if I needed to get them. So I got other crochet hooks that were um, ergonomic as well, like a different brand. I went through like 2 different brands of ergonomic crochet hook sets, and they were terrible quality. They weren't really that comfortable, and I just didn't like them. So after a couple years of using those and not liking it, I thought, I'm gonna just do it. And I haven't used another hook brand full time since. And that was about 8 years ago. So yeah. And the only hook I've ever had to replace is this one, and that's only because I lost the hook. There's nothing wrong with it, and I'm sure I still have it somewhere. I just have not been able to find it and was not willing to wait, so I bought a new one. But other than that, if I find the other one, I have 2 perfectly good ones. And I really like these because I'm able to use a lot smaller of a hook size and stuff like that without my hand cramping. Whereas other brands, you can't really get away with using super small hook sizes because your hands cramp up. And with this, I don't really have that issue, so I can use all the way down to a 2.25 and not have any. And it just feels like I'm using a large hook like this one. Also, you said you were needing a jumper. What color is the jumper? And like, what type of yarn? Let's talk about it, because I like talking about what you guys are working. That's something I like, so. Yeah, personally for me, I've just found these hooks to have the best quality and the most consistency, and all the pros use it, so that's why I did. After testing other ergonomic, cheaper brands to see if the ergonomic hype was real. Because I didn't know that it mattered, and I thought it's probably just a gimmick, like a scam thing. And I found out that it's not, and it does prevent injury. You just have to get a brand that's good. And if you haven't gotten these hooks yet, you can crochet, and you're looking to get a new set. Last I checked, these were $40 for a whole 10-piece set, and I paid $80. So, yeah. After 8 years, they got cheaper. You know how it goes, usually they get more expensive. But I can confidently say that with the amount of crocheting that I do, that they're gonna hold up for like my entire lifetime. Like so far, the only reason I've ever needed to replace any of these hooks is because I lost them. Don't know what happened, but that was my only reasoning for needing to replace them. Is just that I couldn't find it, the one that I was looking for. But I've never had to replace it due to quality issues. Oh, cool. Oh, it's light blue 4-ply. Oh, cool. Is it like, does it have like a neckline? Like a fancy neckline? Does it have like a hood? Like, tell me about it. I like discussing these things with you because it's fun. I realized I have 2 views and one of them is me. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Maybe we'll get some more views. Who knows? I was going live on TikTok and I was going somewhere. So I'm using a stitch marker to mark where the beginning and end of my rounds are because this particular pattern that I'm doing is not going to have a seam of any kind. I've decided that. This bag does have a seam because, like an idiot, I put a seam and it just looks weird. Um, One thing I don't like about the seam, let me see if I can find it. Oh, here you go. You can see like the slip stitch seam right here if you look. And it makes that particular set of pattern repeat wider than all the others because of the slip stitching for the seam, if that makes sense. So it's like significantly wider. It's like half an inch wider than all of the other rows of pattern repeat right there. It's a straight up and down seam. It's completely straight. It just is not the same width as the others. And I don't like that. So we're not adding a seam, and because of that, I'm doing rounds in spiral without a seam. So that's what the pattern's going to be written as. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're going with. But I have to have the stitch marker so I know where the end and start of the round is, because you can't tell by looking at it. You can't tell. Because there really is none. I mean, you could tell in the center a tiny bit, like where the center of the circle is, but other than that, you can't really tell. So right now we are working on round 2 of the, I'm calling these the foundation rounds before I start the pattern repeat. for the walls. Yeah. So I'm doing 2 rounds of just plain double crochets for the base of the walls. So I'm not making the bottom any bigger. This is, I believe, what I'm calling size medium at this point. I have not written this pattern yet, but the whole purpose is to write the pattern. I just wanted to work up a couple samples first and take some. And I wanted to show that even though it's recommended to use a cotton yarn for this pattern, that you could use whatever yarn you like, as long as the mathematic works out and you follow the instructions of the pattern. Doesn't matter what strip size you use, doesn't matter what yarn. Because some patterns it matters, but with this it really don't. You just have to follow the instructions, just knowing that if you use a different hook size and yarn, it's going to either be a smaller bag than what it would initially be, or a larger bag. And as long as you're okay with that, then legit just use the whatever yarn that you want. I also really like that I'm adding a lot of adaptations to this pattern. Like some people might like a double strap better, and some people might like the single strap better. So it's gonna have notes on how to just do the single strap, how to do the double strap, and then also a way that you could make this into a nice basket. This one. The reason I'm adding all these different things to the pattern is because adding a basket is easy. You're just going to follow the pattern as normal, and you're just going to do less rows or less rounds, make it shorter, and then add basket straps, and then that's going to be it. And the only difference for it is you're going to follow the instructions for the double strapped version. You're just going to make the double straps shorter and just make the basket itself shorter. And then the only other adaptation to making a basket is that you're either going to be using a really thick, stiff cotton, or you're going to have to double strand the recommended cotton for the pattern. So it was just so easy that I just didn't feel like making a separate pattern for it. So that's why I did it. Why I'm not going to, I should say. So, yeah, and also I'm going to write in the pattern that if you want to make the 3 standard sizes, this is how you do it. But if you just want to create your own sizing, this is how you can do that. So if you want kind of a smaller bag, but you think my small is too small, you can modify it to make it a tiny bit bigger. If you think that the large size of this bag isn't large enough for you, you can read the pattern notes to figure out how to bypass all of my sizing chart in there and just literally freehand the size. So you can go by any of the 3 sizes I have, or make your own size. And it's basic instruction on how to do it. Also, what's your favorite beverage for having to drink when you're crafting? I typically go for a flavored water or soda. Tonight I'm going for coffee. I wanted coffee. I got a coconut water at the store today too. Only 99 cents. Usually coconut water, even in a can, is way more expensive than that. So when I saw one for 99 cents, I was like, well, that is cheap. For any new watchers, we are working on my new pattern. We are doing the second base round before I start the pattern repeat. And we are doing the Meridian Mesh Market Tote. This is the small in the single strap version using cotton. I love that it's going to have a single strap version as well as a double strap version. This is actually working up to be pretty big. So this, for reference, is going to be the size medium. It kind of blends in with me though because of my shirt. Which I think for a medium, that's pretty big. You want to know something interesting? I'm reworking this pattern from memory. I literally have no notes at all, other than what I told Google. Because you could talk to Google or Gemini. Its name is Gemini, but you have to say H-E-Y Google. And I'm not going to say the word because it will trigger it on my phone. And we don't need to trigger it. You say H-E-Y Google, and then you can tell it to remember what you want it to remember. And you can ask it about it later. Like I could say, H-E-Y Google, for round 3, what were the instructions I was supposed to do? And then it would say. But of course, it would be something that you would have had to previously have told it and told it to remember. Also, Knit You, where are you? Like, what time is it your time? Just curious. I probably asked you this before. Currently, for me, it is 11:37 p.m. What about for you? So we're about halfway done with the round. I didn't want to make this any bigger than the medium that I'm planning on writing pattern for because I wasn't sure how far the yarn I have would go. I have this much left of this, plus this whole one right here, plus this itty bitty amount. So I figured I knew I could do larger than a small, but I was like, I'm just gonna do a medium size. Just hope I have enough yarn for it. Hey guys! We are working on my brand new pattern, the Meridian Mesh Market Tote. Oh cool, you just started cooking. So this is what we're working on. For any new live watchers, it has a base on the bottom that starts out as a circle, turns into a square. This sample still needs an edge on this side. This is the single strap sample. This is a size small. The pattern is gonna come in 3 sizes, plus notes in the pattern on how to just freehand any size you want. But it will have the instructions for the small, medium, and large, which is what that one is. And then it's also going to have a 2-strap version. So this one is the version for the single strap, and then the other version is going to be double strapped. Plus, you'll be able to make it into a basket as well. All of this will be included in one pattern. I just started cooking. Cool. What time is it where you're at? So it must not be super late for you then. I'm just curious what time it is. Is it dinner time for you there? It is late here. It is 11:41 p.m. It's almost tomorrow. So we're almost at the stitch marker right here. We're right here and we need to get here. Right here. We need to get here. That's where we're at currently. And then once we're done, then we can actually start the fun part of the pattern. I just designed this pattern to be square or circle in the center. Then you work however many rounds of the square to make it the size that you want. And then once you get the size that you want, then you have to do a couple base rounds for the walls of the bag. And then after that, you do the pattern. So that's kind of what we're working on. Here's what the bag looks like. And this is currently what we're making, my brand new Meridian Mesh Market Tote. This is what the bottom looks like. This is the pattern repeat. This is the single strap version that you're seeing. The one I'm making in the acrylic yarn is going to be a double strap version. It's going to have notes to freehand and make whatever size you want, as well as notes to make a small, medium, and large. It'll have notes to make a single strap like that one. It will also have notes to make a double strapped market tote, as well as notes to bypass all that and just turn it into a basket. So all that will be included in said pattern. If you want to go to Ravelry, you can heart the pattern there now. And once I write the pattern, it will be for sale. But for right now, we're just crocheting. What time is it? Because for me, it is 11:45. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. Yay, we're pretty much done. So this is what we're looking like right now. It's kind of curling up, you can see. I just gotta follow the pattern and make sure I'm doing it right. Yep. The only way that I'm knowing how to do the pattern is by looking at the sample I already made. So that's what I was just doing. Ah, shoot, I just broke my stitch marker. Dang it. Okay, I have more. Don't freak out. I won't really need it now, though, until I get to the end. I bought these stitch markers off of Temu, and they're not that great. They break kind of easy. The ones I got from Wish.com, though, years ago, that online crochet friend sent me, were way better quality than these. They were the exact same ones, they're just better quality. Hi! Thank you. Hi, hi, hi. Sorry, guys. I have to remember how to work this pattern. Since I didn't write any notes. Okay. Right. Yep, that sounds about right. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. What? Everybody comment down below what time it is where you're at. It is currently 11:47. Where I'm at. So let me know what time it is where you're at. Oh, it's Saturday for you? It is Friday for me. It is Friday, 11:47 p.m. Almost Saturday for me. In like 13 minutes, it'll be Saturday for me. You're almost like a whole day ahead. Like, not a full 24 hours ahead, but like almost a full day. We got coffee. I figured out what I needed to do for the pattern repeat. Like how to start the pattern repeat. I don't like how big this is. It's too big, you guys. I'm just not thrilled. It's so big. I don't get it. I guess big is what we get. Oh, the song is how good. Yes, I am. Probably. I stay up late anyways. I don't work tomorrow until 12:30. I work 12:30 to 9. Now, in theory, this should work. I don't know if the math is going to work out, but Google Math, so in theory, this should work. But I haven't tried it, so I wouldn't know. The way this pattern works is you end up decreasing and then immediately increasing. So if you had like 15 stitches, or no, so if you had 2 stitches, you would have 0 and then go back to 2. I mean, that's not possible, but like, you get what I mean. You take away 2 and then you add 2. So it ends up being the same stitch count. It's just the way the pattern making works. I'm not even sure now. I'm wondering now. Yeah, okay. And this is what we got going on so far for the pattern. Can you guys even see that? Do you guys like the music I'm playing? Is it engaging enough for you? Because I can always change it later down the line for different music. Like, let me know if you guys like the music. Because I'll know for next time. I'm doing it wrong. Once I finish this initial base round of the pattern repeat, then it'll be flying colors from there. Oh, we have 4 watchers. Hey everybody, say hey, say hello in the comments. We are working on my brand new design, the Meridian Mesh Mercato. That's what we're working on today. Comment down below if you want to see a pretty much almost completely fully done worked up stamp. It's going to come in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. There's going to be instructions to make it into a basket as well. And it's also going to have the main version right here, which has 1 strap. And then the one that I'm making is going to have 2 straps. So it'll have the 3 sizes, the single strap version, the 2 strap version, the basket version, as well as pattern notes on how to just bypass the sizing guide and freehand your own size. So it'll have all that info. And that will be available, Fibers in the Wind, on Ravelry soonish. So it'll be available at some point soonish. But the listing is already there. I do have a project for this pattern listed on Ravelry, so you can go ahead and give it a heart already if you'd like. And then I will upload the pattern as soon as it's available. As soon as I write the pattern. I haven't gotten to the writing yet. And the one that I just showed you guys is made using acrylic, or made using cotton. This one's made using acrylic. Anybody knitting, crocheting, crafting? And if so, what you doing? What you working on? Oh, what are you making for dinner? We have a few more watchers. I was hoping we'd get some more responses, but that's alright. What are you making for dinner, Nat? What's your favorite thing to make in the oven? I don't know, I like the kielbasa sausages with like veggies, potatoes, that sort of thing. That's really good. But if you could only eat one veggie for the rest of your life, what would it be? So, do you only do knitting or do you do crochet as well? Maybe I've asked you this before. I don't remember. I barely, kind of, sort of, not really know how to knit. I just mostly crochet, but I'm working on it. Oh, yum. Broccoli. Broccoli, broccoli, broccoli. Oh, so you primarily do knitting. Okay, gotcha. That's cool, though. I made a knit hat. Can't remember how I did it, though. So, that's about it. This pattern is coming along. Again, I really want to have to think about it after this base round of stitches. kits. Yeah, I've seen those. I think they sell them at Walmart now. But I've seen them online before anywhere. Yeah, I would just tell your daughter, keep an open mind and try both crochet and knitting. Because then she'll be able to decide which one she likes better and determine what her primary thing is. Or maybe determine that she likes both equally and wants to do 50-50. Like half the time knit, half the time crochet. It's good not to limit yourself. Yeah. But definitely start off with one. I cannot wait to finish this round, guys. Almost. I will show you what it looks like when we do get this round done. Hey, say hello in the comments. Moon Rose Crafts, hey. Hey, it's long to see you all. Yeah! We are working on my brand new design. This is called the Meridian Mesh Market Tote. It's available for liking on Ravelry. This is the medium size. Right now, this is what it looks like. This is the small. I made this in cotton yarn. It is a single strap bag for this one. I still have to do the edge on this side, but I did the edge on this side. And this is the single strap version in the small. It's going to come in small, medium, and large. Notes to freehand size it. It's going to have instructions to make the single strap, as well as instructions to do 2 straps, as well as a basket version, all included in one pattern. Clearly labeled. So stay tuned, but you can find this on Ravelry, Fibers in the Wind on Ravelry. It's called the Meridian Mesh Market Tote. Available for purchase soon-ish. You're getting all that, and I'm thinking of selling the pattern for like roughly $5-ish. I don't know exactly. But that's kind of the amount I think I'm going to go for. Somewhere around $5 for the pattern. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. This is kind of nice, upbeat background. Some of the songs do have lyrics, though. I guess most of them don't, though. But some do. I don't know if this math is going to work. Google said it would, because I asked Google with this specific pattern, starting with this, and the small being this size, how do I make a medium size? That's roughly a certain percentage bigger. This is just a medium. This is where we started, right here, and this is where we're at. I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't work. We'll have to off camera. The only reason it wouldn't work is because of sizing. I'd rather have to undo a row or and look at that. The math works perfectly. Again. Just to reiterate, I did not come up with the math for the medium size. Google did. I gave it all the basic information that I needed, said how the base started, said how I wanted the pattern to be, which stitch pattern I was using, which yarn, hook information, all the stuff. And it said for a larger size, that's this percentage bigger, you need to add this more rounds, this many more rounds, and it did the math correctly because it works. This is now probably the third or fourth time I've asked Google for sizing information for a pattern design. Like, it does the math for me. I just give it basics, like basic pattern instruction and information, so it understands what I'm doing, and then it gives me the math for it. So if you have a Google phone, Android phone, you just say HEY, Google, and then it will, you can ask it. You can tell it what your pattern is, how you're working it, and what you can do to make it larger. I didn't actually say the word because I don't want to trigger my phone, so if anyone's curious. But that's what we're doing. So this is what we're working with. This is what it looks like. This is the base of the bag, you guys. And this is just a medium. It's going to be a little smaller if you use a cotton yarn. But this is the medium. And there is no seam line. So this would just be where I would need to put a stitch marker just to know where my stop and start is. Later on. Let me just find a stitch marker. Choose this person. And I don't need to put it in the top of the stitch. I just need to know for reference. So I'm going to put it in the post of the stitch body. That way I don't have to keep taking it out and putting it in. Now you just do the pattern repeat up till it's long enough. And it's pretty easy from there. And it looks better without a seam. Seam not necessary. Literally at all. We have 5 current watchers, but can we get some commenters, please? I don't want to feel like I'm talking to myself. Don't be shy. I won't bite. Now that we've done the base row for the pattern repeat, it's kind of obvious where the stitches are now placed, so I don't have to count anymore. Hey guys, say hey, say hello in the comments. The question of the day is, if you could only eat one vegetable for the rest of your life, what would it be? If you have not answered that question, answer it in the comments. Mine would be broccoli. Oh, you said hi, cool. So if you could only eat one vegetable for the rest of your life, what would it be? Oh, we got a new song. Something hopefully better. There's a random assortment of music in here. I don't know what. I didn't pre-listen to any of it. I mean, I pre-listened to a couple songs, but. Yay, this pattern is working up so well and good. We're on round 2 of the pattern repeat. So we did 2 base rounds, and now we're on round 2 of the pattern repeat. This is the size of the bag. This is the medium. And I'm just using not cotton. Acrylic 4-ply. Just the basic 4-ply. Here's the great acrylic. Guys, come on so we can chat. Also, I'm still using that same cake of yarn. I haven't even switched yet. And that's pretty good if you ask me. But we are also only on round 2 of the pattern repeat. I don't know what to say, you guys. No one's commenting. Do you like it better when I'm quiet? Or when I'm talking? Like, if no one's commenting. Quiet. Oh, perfect. There's people here, but no one's commenting. Perfect. What are you working on? What are you working on? You're working on a project or doing something? Nothing wrong. Round two. Oh my goodness. Oops. Going into the wrong spot. I'm talking about my poor guy. I don't know how long it's been. Oh, nice! I'm glad your dinner is out of the oven for you. Go eat. You need to eat. Eating's important. Guys, look how nice this pattern's working. Round two. It'll only get nicer as it goes. Oh, and there's a little knot. Not really a knot, but like a loop. I definitely felt it. I was like, this doesn't feel right. It wasn't a full blown knot. It was kind of like looped together. We got it. See? Being wrapped around my leg and getting caught. I wonder what this song is. I don't know if this has lyrics. But it does. Finally. Right? Me too. Broccoli's my pick. I got this giant head of broccoli, this giant broccoli crown at Grocery Outlet earlier, and it's so fresh tasting. Like it's so ripe and delicious, but it's not overripe. Literally perfect. I'm at a veggie platter with broccoli, cucumbers, baby carrots, the little mixed tomatoes, You know, the ones that are like oblong shaped, that are yellow, orange, and red, as well as red bell pepper. So red bell pepper, tomatoes, baby carrots, broccoli, and cucumber. I like to make my own veggie platter because I can control the freshness of the veggies and what I put in the platter. Because honestly, sometimes I like to switch it up and do different stuff. Like sometimes I like to do mushrooms. And if you buy one, you're kind of stuck with what they give you. It's not always the best. I got the little petite baby carrots. They're very good. I've had baby carrots that were not good. These ones are juicy and sweet and just delicious. Absolutely good. When they're good. We finished round two. They're not only 100% complete. It's a little crinkly. That's what the bottom looks like, guys. And this is what the pattern, what the inside looks like. And then this is about what from the sides. This is what the pattern repeat looks like. I'm loving this. And I just put the stitch marker down here, not actually where I'm working, so that I can kind of see where it stops and starts, but where it's not in the way where I don't have to, where I don't have to keep taking it. I'm gonna drink this coffee forever. Also, if any of you viewers, if you like bell peppers, what type of bell pepper is your favorite? The red, the yellow, or the orange? I used to say green. I would say green is still my favorite for like a pizza topping, but I actually think red is my favorite, to be completely personally honest with you. I used to always, as a kid, say green was my favorite, but I've been loving red lately as an adult, and I got a red one. I got a red one to go on my veggie platter that I was making, and it's so ripe. It's the right amount of tender and crispy or crunchy. It's just the right amount of everything, and it's like perfect. It only had like one little blemish on the outside, like it just got scratched a little on the outside, but there was no rotting spots, nothing. It was like the perfect bell pepper. And I was like, yeah. I'm a veggie lover, to be honest. I know not everybody is, but I sure am. And if you ask me what my favorite, if I could only eat one veggie for the rest of my life, every so often I would say that it would change. Right now it's broccoli, but it might not always be broccoli for my answer. So we're on round three of the pattern repeat. And I don't know how many rounds I'm gonna want or need to do. I'll figure that out once I get tall enough to start making that decision. Because it's gonna be a bag, and obviously it's not even tall enough to be a basket yet. So obviously it's gonna be clear. Also, if you guys want to follow me, Fibers and Wood on TikTok, I do go live there as well. I go live here and there. And if you could go give this pattern a heart on Ravelry, Fibers and Wood on Ravelry, this is going to be listed under the Meridian Mesh Market Tote. I won't know for certain, but I'm hoping this will be enough to get me all the way around, but I doubt. I might have to add a new cover, which I like to typically do if I can swing it at the beginning of a round, but sometimes you just can't swing it, yeah. And that's okay. I'd like to aim for that. I just love this hook. The I 5.5mm, the hook that I'm currently using, used to be my favorite hook. The one I favored the most. It's not my favorite anymore. I've been favoring smaller hooks lately. Like, specifically for this one. Oops. I grabbed I grabbed the other mini cake with the handle of this one. So for this one sample that I made for the single strap version, I used, where's the hook? I used a 4mm. And I've been liking this one a lot too. It's a 3.75. A 4mm is the one that I was. I have no clue where it went. It could have fallen off the case. I'll have to find that. But that's what I was using for this one. I really thought I put it back in here. Well, because it kept poking through the bag, so it took it. I don't know where it went. I'm gonna have to look for that later. I'm really gonna need to. I'm not gonna worry about it. Hi, everybody! We're working on my new pattern design, the Meridian Mesh Marketo. If you go to Fibers in the Wind on Ravelry.com, you can find the project that I started with it or the listing. It's not currently available for sale as of yet, just because I'm not there yet in the design process. I haven't written the pattern yet. I haven't designed it, haven't written it yet because I'm still working up some samples. But it will be available soonish. This pattern you're gonna want to download when it's available because it comes in three sizes, small, medium, and large, as well as instructions on how to freehand any size that you want. And then the one that I have right here is a single strap version, but there's going to be instructions to double to make two straps, one on either side if you don't like the single strap version. So you can have the two strap version, the single strap version, the three sizes, plus notes on how to bypass that, freehand your own sizes, and get this, in the notes how to just turn it into a basket instead of a bag. So that you're all gonna get that in the pattern for a really reasonable price. So that's what you'll get in this pattern. Let's pull that out. curious to see. I'm going to do a couple more pattern repeats, and then I'm going to check to see how close we are to being done with this round. Because I want to know, because we're getting kind of low on yarn. I just will have to attach the other cake, obviously. I'm impressed that we got as far as we did. Perfect, I'm glad you're still here. Thank you for being here for so long. I really appreciate it. I don't actually know how many pattern repeats are in this size. I've never counted. I've never made this size. I made Google come up with the size for it. I told it how much bigger I wanted it to be and what pattern it was, like the pattern repeat and everything, what that entailed, and then it just gave me all the sizing information, which, by the way, it was perfectly accurate on doing. And you can do it with Hey Siri, too. But with HEY Google, because I have Android, it works perfect. Also, something I wanted to show you guys. Something really cool. You can also ask Google to show you how to write a pattern based off of the Craft Yarn Council. So you could tell Google, hey, I'm writing a pattern and these are the instructions, and you explain what you want the pattern to say, and you say, hey Siri or hey Google, can you please tell me how I would write that in crochet terms from the Craft Yarn Council. And this is just a basic generic sample of what Google can tell you. It's not showing it. I thought it would. Hold on, let me turn down my screen brightness. I don't know if you can read that now. Let me make it a tiny bit brighter. Can you see it? Or is that already too bright? That's already too bright. Dang it. Can you guys even read that at all? But it basically just says CH7 row 1 SC in second CH, 2 and D from hook and in each CH across, comma, turn, and then it has all the abbreviations, and it writes the pattern for you. That way you know that it's readable from a standpoint of a pattern reader. And I specify, like, hey, I want my pattern to say this, and then you just tell it to use the yarn abbreviations or stitch abbreviations from the Craft Yarn Council, and it will do so. And it will write out that line of instruction and exactly how you would just type it. And you can just copy and paste it. So that you don't have to sit there and wonder how to explain what you're doing for the pattern. Like if you're writing a pattern that you want to put out there, you don't have to wonder, well, how do I write this in crochet terms? You could just ask Google, I want to write this instruction into a crochet pattern. Please use the terminology from the Craft Yarn Council. And then it will just show you. And you can do it with Google, on your phone, you can do it with Siri. And if you want to add different sizings for your patterns, you just give it basic information like your starting count, what stitches you're using, what hooks you're using, or needles if you're knitting. And it can give you, like, the math for larger sizings. I mean, it did the math on my medium bag, and that was all it. Like, I didn't ask it. I didn't already know what size the medium was going to be. We just decided how many stitches we wanted it to be, what the stitch count was going to be, and then based on the pattern that I was describing, I was like, okay, if you want it to be an end result of this stitch count, and you're doing this exact stitch pattern, you're starting with this number, and this is how you're doing it, you would need to then do this many of this. like this many rounds of the pattern. So I like that because I can tell it some basic pattern information, some basic instruction, and it can do all the math for me. So I don't have to calculate any math anymore. But sometimes I get confused. I'm not really sure. Sometimes for me the math isn't mathing. Oh, this is where we're at. Right here. And this is where we need to get to. There's the... Hard to see on camera. There's the stitch marker that we need to get to. And here's currently where we're at. This is how much of the end cake we want. So it does appear we're going to have enough. And I'm probably just going to keep going until I run out, honestly. Because I feel like I need to use all this here. It's just kind of pointless to not. You know? So I'm probably not going to change colors right at the beginning. It'll be shortly thereafter for sure. Unless I run out right at the beginning. But if I go past the beginning, that's fine. We'll be finishing the third round of the pattern. Also, do you think it's more fun watching my live with the music or without the music? What do you guys find more fun? Oh, I'm starting to feel the stitch marker with my left hand. That means we're really getting to the end. Or the beginning, whatever you want to call it. Oh yeah, we got one more stitch to do. Well, stitch pattern. Because it's technically 2 stitches. Yeah, we're at the end. We just got to the marker. And then we still have this much more to go, so I'm going to keep going. That's a considerable amount, so I'm just going to keep going. But before I do, I thought I'd show you. This is what the bottom looks like. Not when we push that on the bottom. That's what it looks like. And this is what the pattern repeat looks like. And we're just going to keep going until we run out. I don't want to waste any of this now. It's a good thing I did not do the large size, because I don't have enough of that. But this pattern is not going to have a seam. It is crochet in the round spiral with no seam. I didn't like how big that was. It's still gonna be kind of big, but whatever it is. Whatever it is. Round 4 officially of the pattern repeat. So technically round 5. Because I did 2 base rounds before I started doing the pattern repeat. So technically altogether, for the walls, round 5. But more than that, because this whole thing is worked in a round. We still got this much left. We've already done that one. Here's where I'm currently at. Here's where we started. Right here. And here's where I'm currently at. So yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. There's just too much yarn to waste there. I'm hoping I have enough yarn to finish this, but possible I may not. Let me know in the comments if you prefer go live with music or without. Because I want to do whatever you guys want. So yeah, let me know, you guys. Oh, the question is, do you prefer watching my live with music or without music? Like, is it more fun with music or less fun for you? Also, and if music is more fun, what's your genre? What do you prefer? I want to know the different genres, if possible. So Shoni. So you prefer it without the music? Is that what you're saying? No, this is copyright free music. Don't worry about that. This music producer makes copyright free music for live streamers. I can turn the music down. Yeah, you just missed the E. It's SHONIE. So it's less fun with the music. Yes. Yes, there you go. And I did turn off the music. Because I want to do what's fun for you guys. It only took me half a second to turn off the music. Yeah. There's certain artists that make music specifically for live streamers that doesn't have any copyrights. So that's convenient. Sorry I'm moving a lot, guys. I'm just kind of stretching. We're still going with the same skein. With the same, so here's where we started with the stitch marker right here. And then here's where I'm at. So I would say we've done almost 3 corners out of the 4. So although I highly doubt we're gonna get, all the way to the end of the round, I think we're gonna get, closer than I expected. We're not quite halfway, but we're almost halfway. And that was just too much yarn to waste, you know what I mean? And it's like, if you only have enough to do a few stitches or just a couple pattern repeats, then definitely, of course, consider switching your yarn. But if you have enough to do at least half a round or more, that's a considerable amount, and I will just use it until you get to the end. So yeah. I'm not favoring this yarn, but structurally it works just fine. It works just as good as the cotton yarn, structurally speaking. It's just not my favorite color palette. You know what I mean? But it's what I had available to me. I already had this in my stash. And that is why we chose it. Because I just got a new job, I haven't reopened my business fully yet, and I just don't really have any income yet from this new job because I've only worked 2 days at this new place. So that's pretty much how it is. I'm working my 3rd day tomorrow. I'm working just under 40 hours next week, 37. I would like to get closer to full time than that, but honestly, 37 hours is pretty close. It's 3 hours shy of full time. And I do need to try to make the stitches smaller. That's pretty big. My bad. That one was loose. That one was definitely loose, guys. Yes, gotta use what I have. Are you able to say what type of work you are doing? I am doing a special pattern repeat. I can say partially. A special pattern repeat that uses front post double crochets. I'm not going to give it all the way away because then it would be like, oh, based on what she said, I could follow the pattern. And the pattern is supposed to be for sale once I write. The whole point of designing the pattern was specifically to sell it. So. But I can say the technique that I'm using is front post double crochets with like a different stitch pattern in between. And then also the base is a circle initially and then turns into a square. So it's completely circle down here and then works up into a square. And every size starts out with the same amount of rounds for the circle, and then the rest of the size up is made in the square portion. Thank you. So I will be working more and getting money coming in, so that will be possible. Maybe I'll be able to buy yarn soon. I don't know. I got bills I gotta pay first. We have this much yarn left, and we're well over halfway done with this round. So, do I think I'll make it? Not exactly, but we're getting close to the end of the round. So, although I don't think I'll make it to the end, I do think I'll get really close. Because we already are nearing the end. So, this is where we're at right now, and this is where we need to be. So, we need to be here, and we're at here. And this is how much yarn we've got. Honestly, I did not think that I was going to do a whole nother round, or even anywhere close to it. So that's why I'm glad I didn't change my yarn last round, because it did, over 80% of this round. So that's pretty good in my opinion. Yes, it is. Paying bills is very important. I gotta pay my credit card bill. I gotta pay. Okay, I changed what I said. I'm probably gonna finish this round. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern repeats before we're done with this round. Now, if I have a couple inches left, I'm not going to use that. I'll use it for weaving in the ends. But if a significant amount left, I'll continue, but I won't, because I'm running out. This uses a lot less yarn than I thought. We're finishing round 4 of the pattern repeat, you guys. That's what we're working on. Oh yeah, we're going to make it with plenty to spare. I will show you what it's looking like and how much yarn we have left over. We have 1 stitch pattern left to work. Okay, so we are done with round 4 of the pattern repeat. So it doesn't lay completely flat. I mean, it does, it just kind of curls up a little. So this is what the bottom looks like. This is what the inside looks like. And this is what the pattern repeat is looking like. And we're about to start the next round, and we have this much yarn left, which I'm not going to use. I'm going to retouch them, but it's a lot more yarn than what I thought we would have, to be completely honest with you. I didn't think the amount of yarn that we had would go a full rotation around, and it did, with probably about 30 inches to spare. Okay, maybe not 30, but 15 maybe? I'm thoroughly impressed. I am really thoroughly impressed. I'm gonna redo this stitch though and just make it a little bit tighter. Also, for any crafters out there, if you don't have a yarn ball winder, my mom got me, it's like a pink and purple kind of yarn ball winder. It's a Knit Picks. She got it for me for Christmas back in 2019. And I've been using it the whole time. It makes these really nice looking yarn cakes. And they're really good. Because you get the center pull. So I have this cake, which I don't know how long it's going to last, and this little bit. So I will need to find a matching color or buy more of this yarn to try to make it work. Shoot. I'm doing a color switching method that basically what you're doing is you're just changing your working loops. And that's pretty much all you're doing. Is just switching out working loops. But you have to work a couple of stitches before you pull out the other one. So I'm putting all my strands in there. It's just this can be a little bit loose at first, so you do have to kind of pull it. I like to do a few stitches in. So the way you change colors with this is you just change your working group. And then there's no color changing seam. The only time you have a color changing seam with this method is if you're actually changing colors and not just changing skeins or yarn cakes, which is what I did. So this was the old working loop, and this is the new one. So then all you basically do is you just take the yarn from the old working loop and you just pull it out. And then you can just pull it a little bit tighter if you need to. And then bam, you can't even tell. You literally can't even tell. That's okay. Glad you're back. But you literally can't even tell that you changed colors. You because you're not slip stitching anything. All you're doing is you're going diagonally through some of the front parts of the stitch, like on the front of the stitch, not the top, to just change out your working loop. Which honestly works really good. And I'm really happy with that. So see? You can't even tell where I changed colors. Look. You legit can't even tell. I mean it. Do you see where I changed colors? The only way you would ever know is if you saw the yarn right there. You can't tell. Now, it'll be different if you're changing... I'm not actually changing colors. I mean, I'm just changing skeins or yarn cakes because my other one ran out. If you were to change colors, you could see... There would be, you could see, obviously it's a different color. But there would be no, seam line, per se. You would just see that the color got changed. So I officially think are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, round 5 of the pattern repeat round. So we did 2 base rounds for the wall And then we're on round 5 of the pattern repeat. Is what we're doing. And it's coming out quite nicely, I will say. Like, just how it's working up. It's working up quite nicely. So, I think it's going really good. So, yeah. I think I'm probably just gonna finish this round, you guys, and then probably head off. But I do want to get this round done first. For sure. I don't know how long I've been going by. It doesn't say. Normally it says. It stopped saying that. Oh well. That's alright. It'll show after, but yeah. Google came up with the math, or Gemini rather, came up with the math for this medium size. And according to the pattern that I designed, the math is accurate. It's mathing correctly. And yeah, like I said, I just gave Google or Gemini basic information about the pattern, like what stitches I was going to be using, the pattern repeat, how I was going to be starting the pattern, and how the increases were going to be being made. And then, we decided a stitch count that we wanted it to be at the end. And then it just said, oh, you just need to do this and this and this to make it this size. And it worked correctly. So if you want a buddy that can help you design patterns, like the mathematics of the pattern, or how to write out a certain instruction, if you want to say a certain thing in a pattern and you're not sure exactly how to explain it in crochet or knitting terms, it will tell you how. It'll say, oh, you explain this by saying this. And I just specify you need to use the terms from the Craft Yarn Council, and it will say, oh, well, in a pattern, in a knitting or crochet pattern, this is what it would read, how it would read. And it's just so convenient because it just makes it so much easier, you know? Sometimes my stitches are a little loose. I don't like that. I'm probably gonna eat my veggie platter. So I didn't finish it. And I would like to eat more veggie platters from paper. Okay, let's see how far along we are. Okay. So we started here and we're all the way diagonally across. So we're about halfway. And for reference, this is what the pattern looks like. And this is what the bottom looks like. That's what the inside looks like. Okay, thank you, Nidio, thank you. Perfect, thank you guys. I was just gonna go live until I finish this round. And then get it. But thank you for staying for so long, you guys. Really appreciate that. Like a lot. I just figure after I finish this round, that'll be a good stopping point. But we are doing good. We're finishing up, soon to be finishing up round 5 of the pattern repeat. So 7 rounds of the wall total because I did 2 base rounds. And this is working up really nicely. I wasn't sure how nicely it would work up in this yarn. And this is kind of an odd color combo. It's not my favorite. But I think for not being my favorite, it's still pretty decent, I'd say. Bye. Thanks for the emojis. Bye. Bye, everybody. For any new watchers that have not been watching this entire live, I am working up a medium-sized sample of my Meridian Mesh market tote that's going to be available soon. This is in the acrylic yarn. The pattern is designed in cotton, so I do have a cotton sample. This is the small Meridian Mesh market tote. That's what the bottom looks like. This is what the pattern repeat looks like. This is a single strap version. This side you can clearly see it has an edging that goes around the strap. This side does not, so it has not been done. And the pattern is also going to come with instructions on how to add 2 straps instead of just the single strap. And yeah, so this one's going to be a double strap version. And this is a size medium, which is going to be a lot bigger than what will be detailed in the pattern, just because I wrote the pattern for acrylic yarn using a 4mm hook, which is 1.5mm smaller, because this is a 5.5mm, and this is the 4. So the pattern will call to use a 4 with the I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby. But I wanted to see how it would look in an acrylic. So this is a larger medium than what the pattern would say. Same stitch count, just larger because of larger yarn and hook. So yeah, it appears that I have the pattern memorized. I've only made it one time, which is that one that I just showed you, and I have no notes or instructions written at this current time. So I'm just remembering in my head how it was made. And I've never made this size before either. This is my medium size. We are just about to finish this round. And then I'll give you a final look. And finally, how much yarn we have left. We did use the first cake. So we're on the second cake, which is pretty much the last cake, main one. Because the third cake that we had is just this little amount. Not that much. I can feel the stitch marker, so I know we're getting close. Once my left hand starts touching the stitch marker, that's how I know. So yeah, you'll definitely want to use a stitch marker with this pattern because there's not going to be a seam line for you to be able to tell where your stop and start is. You're not going to need a stitch marker for the first round of your pattern repeat because that'll be the first round where you are doing stitches that you weren't doing before so you can see where you start and stop. But after that, you're going to need a stitch marker. This pattern does use post stitches, so I just stick the stitch marker in the post to tell me where my start and stop is. If that makes sense. So like, it's just way down here. And then if you want, after so many rounds, you could just move it up. That way you have an idea for where things are at, but you don't have to like take it out every time. So this is how much yarn we have left, because we just started using it, clearly. And this is what the bottom looks like. This is what the inside looks like. And hold on. This is a close-up of the pattern page. So yeah, this is my medium meridian mesh market tote. I can't even speak. So yeah, that's how that's going. This is just leftover from the other one, the other cake that I used, which I'm really thoroughly surprised that it did a whole nother rotation around the pattern. I didn't think that it would. I honestly never thought it would. And it did so. And it actually, it did more than I thought it was going to do, and it's great. So this is proof here that you will be able to use acrylic instead of cotton if you don't prefer to work with cotton. I do want to make the basket version of this as well. I won't be doing that before the pattern's release, but I do want to, and then I can upload photos of that to the Ravelry listing later on, I believe. But it just goes to show that this pattern's really versatile and you can do a lot with it because again, it's going to have the 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. And also just notes on how to freehand any size that you want. And then also, like I said, you'll be able to add 2 straps, one on either side of the bag, and or just do the single strap version as well. And then in addition to the basket. So the basket is just going to be worked the same. The only difference is it's going to be shorter and not as tall, and the straps are just going to look a little different. So it'll be the same instructions most likely for the double strap version of the bag, just much shorter straps. Because there'll be handles instead of straps. But it will be the same instruction, just your chain count will probably be different, and like where they're sitting on the pattern will be slightly different. But that's pretty much the only difference. And then also, you'll be using either like a stiffer cotton, like a peaches and cream or lily sugar and cream, or you can use the recommended I Love This Cotton for the pattern, and then you'll just double that up and make 2 threads of it to make sense. So that's what's going to be included in the pattern. I'm probably going to start out by selling it for $5, just because you get the 3 sizes, the basket version, 2 handle options, and so I think $5 is a reasonable, very fair price for that, so I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in to this live stream. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget to give this pattern, the Meridian Mesh Marker Tote, a heart on Ravelry. Pattern listing coming soonish. And don't forget, follow me on TikTok. Fibers in the Wind on TikTok. Don't forget, you guys. Alright, thank you so much for tuning into this live stream. And I will catch you next time. Bye, guys.